Hello viewers, welcome to the Connect TV again. With this show, we are launching a brand new program, or Tourism Connect. Basically, after the COVID and lockdown issues and crisis, many of us want to get out and travel and see the world around all over again. So in this connection, we thought of launching this series, and we are happy that we have Rahul and Nimisha from JSL Holidays to guide us on the travel scenario in India and as well as the world situation. So welcome to the inaugural show, Rahul and Nimisha. Back with how is the response now? Has people been able to get out of COVID, recover from the COVID, and has the holiday business been able to get out of COVID? Rahul and Nimisha.
Yes, certainly. Post-COVID, definitely during in 2020 March, after 20 March, it was like people were little bit scared about traveling and all. So they were just traveling nearby places. Like once the lockdown got open and the resorts were like allowed to open and operate on 50% occupancy. So it was like people were going nearby places as going by through flight or by train. Everyone was scared. So people were just going to Lonavala, Mahabaleshwar. If I'm talking about the Bombay tourist.
What about the COVID protocol? Are you happy with the kind of protocol being observed, whether it is in the hotels or whether it is in the flights?
Yeah, few of the states and flights are maintaining a very good COVID protocol. As I have traveled many a times recently in flights, so they are all the airlines are having a good protocol against the COVID and all. And states are also now relaxing with their terms and conditions. Earlier, Ladakh was having RT-PCR mandatory last month, but now they have stopped it. So slowly and steadily, states are also stopping RT-PCR if both the vaccinations are done. And vaccination is also going in good nowadays. Yeah. So with regards to that, I think things should get normal in say next 2-3 months of time. We're expecting a very good Diwali and New Year bookings around the corner.
Okay, you started with which destination, with Goa or Ladakh after the COVID scenario?
We first group departure was Kerala. Post-COVID, my first group departure was Kerala in the month of February this year, February. And later on, we had back-to-back groups for Kashmir in the month of March and April.
Okay.
We did a couple of groups to Kashmir. After that, again, post-April 15th, again, couple of months, there was again a second wave kind of a thing. So again, the business was a little down. And then now from last month, we did a group to Ladakh. And again, couple of days later, on 25th of September, again, there is a group to Ladakh.
So because of this,
sitting with small groups.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask you.
Groups of around 10-15 people. Yeah.
Okay. So you are also maintaining that distancing, because earlier you used to take groups of 25-30. So you're also taking smaller groups, obviously.
Smaller groups, yes.
Because the aircraft capacity is also but aircrafts are going full capacity. I saw some of the pictures.
Aircrafts are going 80-90% occupancy. Aircrafts are now going almost 80-90% occupancy. That's not a problem. But still, considering the people coming in the group, they generally feel that if it is a 30-40 group, then again there is a crowd. So considering that, we are operating with a 12-15 or maximum 20 people group, not more than that as of now.
So what about the airport check-ins? Are they as smooth as expected? Airport check-ins?
Airport check-ins are now being more smoother. Yeah, they are being more smoother because now the web check-in is almost mandatory with every airline.
See, do people have to carry a lot of woolen clothing, or normal people get clothing there? And of course, again, taking somebody else's clothes and during COVID is also an issue. So,
Yes, yes. But generally in Ladakh, there is no rental format like we do it in Kashmir and any other Manali places where we
Yeah.
get warmer clothes and rent. But in Ladakh, I don't think they have any rental schemes. So people generally get their own thermal clothing and all, jackets and all. And in Leh, there is a very good market over there, the Tibetan markets. So we can get good jackets over there also. Tourist attraction point of view, whenever if we say Ladakh, the first picture comes in mind is Pangong Lake.
Yeah.
Everyone's mind. You can say that.
True.
So Pangong Lake is one of the most beautiful and most tourist visited places. Then there is Nubra, where one can enjoy sand dunes, one can enjoy camel ride, ATV ride. Then there are so many monasteries, very very beautiful monasteries located at very beautiful locations as well. So one can spend like an hour also or two in that monastery, just doing meditation or just viewing the location and all. So the monasteries are also very beautiful. There are many, there is Magnetic Hill, you can say, there is Gurudwara as well over there. So there are many other sangams also where there is a confluence of two rivers, Indus River and the Zanskar River. So even that is a very beautiful place.
About food, vegetarians like me, do they have issues, or you can manage? You get vegetarian options also.
Yeah, veg is not a problem over there. You can get veg food easily.
And you can get very good vegetarian, and if you are if you like cafes and all, then there are very nice, beautiful cafes over there where you can have coffee, you can have sandwiches, you can have pizza, you can have pasta. So there are many cafes like
food, yeah.
Even definitely the local food you can have. That is tukka soup you can have. Then there are momos. So there are many other local foods. There is Ladakhi bread, which I would definitely insist everyone to have it over there, especially. I would recommend a cafe, that is Leh Cafe. There's a lady who's the owner. She has her own dish. This is Ladakhi bread is normally a bread, but she has modified it in if you know Subway sandwich. So
Yeah.
she has modified it in Subway sandwich, but that is definitely a must try over in Ladakh market. Yeah. So the food is never an issue in Leh.
So this is a straight direct flight from Mumbai, and how do you take people?
Ladakh has a direct flight from Mumbai. GoAir operates an early morning flight, 4 o'clock, approximately 4 o'clock flight from Mumbai directly to Ladakh. I think that is the only one flight which is flying directly from Mumbai to Leh. Otherwise, there are a lot of flights which are from Mumbai to Delhi and Delhi to Leh via Delhi. So there are a lot of flights which are via Delhi, via Srinagar, via Chandigarh as well. So these are the few things. And while coming back, I don't there is no direct flight, but there are hopping flights again via Chandigarh or via Delhi or via Srinagar.
What next? What is the next destination after Leh? What are you planning?
There are 3-4 destinations which we are having a pipeline, which are there in the pipeline. Sorry. So one is Kedarnath, means the Char Dham, which has just started, say, for around 3-4 days back. They have
18th of September.
Yeah, 18th of September. They have asked that the people can come to Char Dham. Statue of Unity, which has again come up like a good destination, Statue of Unity. So that is one thing. And one thing is Goa with Dudhsagar. There is a Dudhsagar waterfall, which is recently in the past 3-4 years. Again, that waterfall has also got famous. So Goa with Dudhsagar waterfall. These are the 4-5 things which are lined up.
So let's chat again once you get back from Ladakh and for the next destinations. Thank you very much, Rahul and Nimisha, for joining for this show. Thanks a lot. And
definitely, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, and
thanks a lot. Stay safe. Namaskar.